Welcome to Ruff's Kitchen. I'm Chef Robert Roussan. Today we're going to demonstrate a new cake. It's a sour cream brown sugar green tomato cake. Pretty simple, standard pound cake recipe. First thing we'll do, we're going to get some butter, 1 stick, which is 4 ounces. Put that in. Then we have a 1/2 cup of oil, vegetable oil. Now we're going to turn this on, get this going a little bit. Make sure you get your butter down in there so you don't get any splats over yourself and all over your counter. Start that just a little bit. Mainly to break it down a little bit, break that butter down. Okay. Now we have 2 sugars that we're going to add. We have a brown sugar and a white sugar. I've combined them both in the same bowl. Okay, let's turn that off. Again, we're trying not to have a lot of splats going on in there. We'll put that together. Scrape your bowl a little bit. Now we're going to cream this till it's nice and creamy and fluffy. Down, scrape the bowl every so often around the sides. If you don't mix it well, what will happen is you'll have a very coarse cake and the crystals of the sugar won't have broken down either. So you kind of get that little crunch to it. We'll let this go for about a minute on medium speed. You'll notice the color will change also. It'll get a little lighter. Let's do a little more. We'll turn it down on low now. Next we'll add our eggs. We'll do 1 egg at a time. You want to let that incorporate. Put the second egg in. We're using 3 eggs, large eggs. Let that go. Turn it up a little bit. We don't want to incorporate too much air or we'll get air pockets in our cake. But at the same time, we want to build in air to the cake so it'll help rise. Slow it down. Scrape the bowl a little bit. And you can feel that the sugar is dissolving. Next, we'll add our sour cream. I'm using 1/3 of a cup of sour cream with this. Now that our wet ingredients are in, we will start with our flour and dry ingredients. We have a teaspoon of baking powder in here, We have a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using the Chinese 5 spice, or you can use an allspice and add cinnamon and nutmeg to it. We're going to add 1½ teaspoon. It's all been added to the flour. I've stirred it in good, so we'll get a good balance when we add it to the mixture, to our wet mixture. And you want to do this gradually. You don't want to do too much. Let that get going. As that gets going, what we'll also do is add some of our green tomatoes. Look at that green tomato there. Makes you think of Christmas. Great. We'll come back, add a little more flour. Add a little more tomatoes. Stir in your bowl. Come back, add a little more flour. Add a little more tomatoes. Pretty dense batter. You can tell, you can lightly see the greenness in it. You're not going to have a real lime green color or when you actually bake it. We'll put the rest of our tomatoes in. Stop it. Scrape your bowl a little bit. Want to make sure everything is evenly incorporated. Last, we're going to add some raisins. And put that in there, and some chopped walnuts. This is a great cake for the holiday, believe it or not, especially around the fall time. You know, all the pumpkins and sweet potatoes, they get a lot of publicity. Well, today we're going to make green tomato publicity happen. I've told others about me doing this recipe, and you know, they get the frowning face, but then when I share the recipe with people, they're amazed at the flavor of this cake. Again, we don't want to overbeat it. Notice that batter consistency. Oops, I'm going to do that out of there. Okay. I have a bun pan that I'm going to bake this in. But you can use a flat sheet pan also. Okay. One last little fold in. A lot of people overbeat their cakes because they don't know the method of folding. You just want to kind of fold it and just make sure everything has been evenly distributed throughout the batter. You just kind of want to go around. Do it, you can turn it at the same time. There are many things to do with the green tomato, but I thought this cake would be a very interesting recipe to try. There are different green tomato recipe cakes out there. But this one is something that I developed myself personally by using brown sugar and sour cream. Wipe off our sides. Next thing, you just want to kind of, nothing special about it. We'll put it in the oven, 350. It's already been preheated. And we'll set this for 1 hour. Here we have one that we just taken out of the oven. Still a little warm. We'll set that there. Yes, that's hot, just in case you want to know about my hands. How about looking at that cake there? We're going to let it set for a minute before we cut it, because it's best to let it set and won't crumble on us. But isn't that a beautiful looking cake? And I'm telling you, your guests will be surprised that there are green tomatoes in there. So we're going to make a quick little glaze. What I did was save some of the juice from the tomato for when we process them. And all we're going to do is just add it to some powdered sugar. See if we can get a little green tint going here. Let's see what we got here. We're getting a little green there. Notice. Again, we're just looking for a little pastel color. Might get a little brighter. Again, that's just a little pastel green. If you want to get a little deeper, you can actually add a little green food coloring, but I was just using the juice from the tomato and make it as natural as possible, because we are incorporating the green tomato cake. So we're going to use as much green tomatoes. And we're just going to drizzle this all over it. Go around it. This mixer is my mom's mixer from when she had her catering business. So it has been my babysitter, I like to say. This is her way of keeping an eye on me as we do this. As we make different desserts. I like to think that my mom was in on this creation. Here we have the cake. What do you guys think? I'm pretty pleased the way this is looking. Again, if you want a little deeper color on that frosting, you can get your little food coloring, but just enough of that hint of the green tomato. I think I could take this to the county fair and win. The knife comes out clean so far, which is a good sign. Yeah, it's still warm. You can see that steam off of it. Right now, that's our green tomato cake. As it sets, it'll firm up just a little more, but it's a nice moist cake, full of good aromatics, and wow, what can I say? Maybe I better get me a fork and try me a piece. Man, that's fire. Okay? That's for real. This is real good. Bring this to your next dinner party. You guys have a great day. I gotta go enjoy some cake. I would like to thank Castle for giving Ruffs the opportunity to develop green tomato recipes for the Green Tomato Project.